welcome you to our 7th Annual Global Spa and Wellness Summit. We travel around the world hosting this event. Several were in New York City, Interlaken, Istanbul, Bali. Then we did it last year in collaboration with the Aspen Institute, and now we're in New Delhi, in incredible India. Next year, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. We'll let you know in a couple of days. But you're going to want to go next year. It's going to be terrific. It seems like every year, and I look out on the audience here, and I am so proud of what Susie's been able to accomplish, the board of directors, the agendas they put together, and I think we've got a special community going, a very special one. I want to introduce the board. Before I do, I want you to know that I apologize to many of you in this room. For the last couple of days, I've been insufferable to be around. I was sick for a couple of days at Vana, and I was basically a nasty person. I remember my wife was introducing me to somebody at dinner the other night, or excuse me, it was lunch, and I was walking through a dining room at Vana, and she says, "Oh, you remember so-and-so?" I said, "Look, I'm rude. I don't even want to talk to you right now." And I walked out of there, and I thought, later on, boy, I'm really nasty right now. I'm so nasty, I got my wife sick. And so I want to introduce Susie to you, who may or may not be able to talk to you today because she's totally lost her voice. Oh, you say you are? Oh, okay, that'll be interesting. Let's go through our board of directors. I'd like to introduce our co-chairs this year who have really been helpful. Manuel Berger. I'd like to get you to stand up. Better known as Manny. Then we've got Andrew Gibson, also co-chair. Better known as Annie. And then we go into Anna Bernstrom. Anna, you here? Anna? Philippe Bourgnon is not with us, who's been very instrumental in helping us, and I know you'll hear more from him in the coming years. Dr. Mark Cohen. Susan Harmsworth. Ephemia Caricos, better known as Mia. See, you appreciate that, don't you? Many didn't know that. We share a little Greek heritage here. Jeff Matthews. Ann McCall Wilson. Veer Singh. And Mary Tabaki. So my wife gave me a little more time to talk today, and now she tells me she's going to talk, so I guess I got to go speed this up, right? Or maybe you shorten it up a little bit. So we come together sharing in a global conversation about the growth and future of our industry. 15 years ago, 2007 or so, 15 of us industry leaders met in Singapore, and we discussed really how we could put together an organization that would be at the very highest level on a global basis around the world, where we had a stage, an event for industry leaders, executives, and visionaries to meet on peer levels and really dialogue about the future of this industry, all embracing what is known as the spirit of the summit. And you'll hear that time and time again, because I think it's very important in terms of how we've modeled this out and what we'd like to see happen or transform ourselves here in terms of growing this industry individually and through our businesses. As some of you may know, we've modeled the summit after the World Economic Forum. Invitation only, delegates and attendees actually are the stars. You're the ones that make this happen. We do not promote our own businesses, we think. That happens here just because you are here. We leave our egos at home, if any, and we share how to be more responsible and responsive to those in this industry. Our collaboration has given us global research found really nowhere else. In 2007, we released the Global Spa Economy Report, which showed that this industry is a $250 billion revenue contribution. Subsequent research has identified the emergency of the term wellness, and of course, you know that we took that name and we moved that into our organization. It resulted us in becoming the Global Spa and Wellness Summit, and it rightfully belongs there. And now it's a mainstream movement, and I kind of say that, we saw it coming through our research. We're now on the cutting edge of our future, and we see countries around the globe beginning to focus their tourist industries around this new and fast-growing sector, wellness tourism, and you'll hear more about that. And why not? Because it shows that this industry is going towards $1 trillion business for countries that embrace and develop plans to execute on wellness tourism. This year's theme is a defining moment, selected by our organization, again, of Andrew Gibson, Manny Berger, and Susie Ellis, in terms of heading up this year's summit. And I think we're really in a defining moment right now for our own selves at the Global Spa and Wellness Summit. And I got something to share with you, and I want to be very careful how I coach it to make sure that I don't oversell or overdefine. But going forward, the board of directors has really thought about where we are in this industry and what our potential to be. And we've had numerous individuals come into our offices and discuss wanting to contribute to some of the things that we do. And I know that we've made an incredible impact on the industry, including this year's advanced sellout. You can see that we had people that were registering a week ago and couldn't get in, 2 weeks ago couldn't get in. And then we had one gentleman, and I don't remember his name, it wasn't Sammy, was it? Somebody registered and bought their airline tickets, got their passport, and came in and registered 2 weeks ago and were turned down. And we had to figure out how do we do that, and I guess luckily we had somebody cancel on us and we were able to fit them in. So we kind of think, we've got something that this is resonating with this industry. Individuals and companies have been wanting to take part on a larger scale on the positive growth of what we're doing. So I think a defining moment for us now is where we go in terms of this organization. And I say I have to be kind of careful in terms of how I coach it, but we think we have a lot of opportunity under a nonprofit umbrella that would be known as the Global Wellness Institute or the Global Wellbeing Institute. And over the next few months, the board of directors are going to be fleshing this out, and we believe that we'll be coming forward with announcements after the first of the year of how we're going to do this. We think we have a great opportunity for major corporations to get involved with us and fund a lot more research, a lot more information out to consumers. And it's all due really to what's happened to us over the last few years, as you can see in this room. We've made an impact, you have made an impact. And it's really exciting when we come to this event. And it's like family. You start to recognize that we all start to know each other at these meetings, and we're starting to really understand the nature of our business a little bit better and the impact that we can make. And we make an impact on our own businesses. I hear that all the time about how people are helping their own businesses just by the fact of being here. But honestly, you're helping the growth of this industry. And so that's why we love this spirit of the summit. So I welcome you all here, and thank you very much for coming, and we'll be talking to you later.
Please welcome to the stage Andrew Gibson, Group Director of Spa Mandarin Oriental and Chairman of the Organizing Committee for this year's Global Spa and Wellness Summit.
Honorable and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I've had a privileged perspective as being both one of the founding board members and now co-chair of the Organizing Committee for this year's summit. I've been able to bear witness to an incredible change in our industry through the early days of establishing the spa industry to where we are today. Along this journey, we have transformed our own organization, remaining agile and innovative. It's our commitment to innovation that is a thread in this year's agenda. By building on the work in Aspen and previous summits, and combining with India as the inspiration for the format. And while the term wellness is not new, it is reaching a critical mass of public interest, which means it's time to embrace and define the terms fully. And so it's with innovation and wellness in mind that the agenda for this summit was developed. With a continued focus on a business of spa, we've allowed ourselves to explore the future. Together, we can identify defining moments of our industry for our individual businesses and for ourselves. Each day of this agenda has a particular theme: outward, inward, and onward. Outward. Today, we will hold up a macro lens, looking at world trends, gradually focusing in on our industry and the world of wellness. We're holding this conference in India because India is one of the top 5 countries for medical tourism, and they understand that they have an opportunity to closely examine the evolution to wellness tourism. We're trying to be ambitious to try to define the time in wellness tourism, and we'll support the process with research on the global size of the wellness industry. So our first day is looking outward. Our agenda reflects a distinguished international roster of thought leaders who will inspire us to think beyond the traditional borders of our industry and open our minds to limitless possibilities. Inward. We would be remiss if we didn't take the opportunity to look at this fabulous country that is incredible India. Tomorrow is a day to reflect and to enjoy the presentations that clearly show that wellness and spa are as much a state of mind as they are a business opportunity. The day is going to start with the 5th Annual Student Challenge. We're going to kick off at 8 o'clock. The presentations from 3 universities in India that were challenged with the task of designing the next generation of spas using some aspect of Indian culture as the basis of their concept. The afternoon session will embrace history, but it will also look at the future of spa and wellness in India. And we invite you to personally look inward as you hear stories that come from globally and nationally recognized figures and from delegates that sit alongside you. We hope that each one will give you the opportunity to reflect on your business, your thoughts, and create a few defining moments of your own. And onward. On this final day, we will turn our lens into the long scope as we look onward to the future. Be prepared for a high-tempo day. We're going to examine the business of spa while sharing information and ideas that help move our industry forward. As a testament to the growth of our industry, we've got a lot to cover. We're offering forums designed to stimulate lively and productive debate, and you will have to decide which of the forums you join. And that's one moment when I'm sure you'll wish you were in 2 places at the same time. As part of the agenda, we're particularly pleased to host an investor panel moderated by one of the most successful entrepreneurs in our industry. Please do not miss that session as the perfect finale to the best summit yet. Amit Bar mentioned the impact in the change of the global population demographics. As an optimist, I believe the current influences on the younger generation will produce societies that place greater emphasis on the preservation of the quality of life. Wellness, or whatever word is used to describe that concept, will span politics, societies, and the way companies operate. But, based on my experiences and the interaction with colleagues around the world, the spa industry is at a defining moment. The confusing arena of identifying medical, health, and wellness tourism has already started. For the next 3 days, we have the opportunity to create a defining force that steers the direction of our industry. The summit aims to provide the catalyst towards clarity. If we follow our motto, joining together, shaping the future, anything is possible. Please look carefully at the agenda. Every moment has been crammed to include something interesting. Use our mobile app to keep track of events and use our networking lunches and social gatherings to meet each other. The defining moment for the 2013 Global Spa and Wellness Summit is upon us. Welcome. I hope you feel challenged by and included in this global conversation. And I've not forgotten my promise in Aspen. Bollywood dancing has been prepared. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Susie Ellis, President of Spafinder Wellness Incorporated and Chairman and CEO, Global Spa and Wellness Summit.
Thank you, Andrew and Peter. First, let me just apologize that my voice is not what it usually is, and I think my husband's happy about that most of the time now. So with a little bit of hot tea, I'm going to attempt to share with you what I'd planned to share. I am really thankful to Andrew and to Manny Berger for working with me these past months. It's been just thrilling to plan this for everyone. So just for a moment, I thought we would do what we've learned from India, which is to try and be in the present moment, just to take a deep breath and see what it feels like to be here. I know a lot of you have traveled a long way. And I'm very grateful. I have to say, Amitabh Kant was very inspiring. You might notice on the agenda he was to speak a little later, but he talked to me last night saying the Prime Minister called and wanted to meet with him at 10:30. So he felt he couldn't say no. So we said, no problem, we'll put you on first. And actually, I think it was a very good way to start. And it made me feel so happy that we chose India to come and talk about what is happening in our industry now. So as the next 3 days unfold, you'll be part of a global conversation designed to stimulate ideas, challenge imaginations, and help define a frontier in our industry. Joining us are esteemed government officials, the former president of the WTTC, the creator of the Incredible India campaign, who you already met, a famous travel editor and TV personality, a strategist and economic advisor, thought leaders in sustainable tourism and medical tourism, and that's just today. The next 2 days are equally thrilling. We have such an amazing agenda. We will hear from titans of industry in India and accomplished and illustrious experts in the worlds of technology, quality assurance, spa development, management research, and filmmaking, as well as a spiritual leader from one of the largest ashrams in India. And while I'm on the subject of spiritual leaders, I am honored, humbled, and frankly dazzled that His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama will grace us with his remarkable presence tomorrow. If that does not a defining moment make, I don't know what does. We will explore and embrace bold ideas, and then we will conclude on our third day with words from the architect of Bhutan's Gross National Happiness Index. I mean, can you really believe that that's going to happen? It's such a rich experience that we have in store. And right now, other than my voice, my happiness index is quite high. And actually, I feel fine, I just don't sound fine. So all of us are here in the room for a reason. There are 360 of us. There are 42 countries, and the flags, there are 42 flags, so I hope you find your flag among them. We are leaders, thinkers, listeners, collaborators. We impact the lives of our employees, colleagues, and customers. Nations of people are represented by the governments in attendance, and we have traveled tens of thousands of miles to come here to chart a course together, to make history and to change something in this world that we share. And I am deeply grateful that you're here to be committed to this conversation. Andrew explained our theme this year as a defining moment, and I want to share with you a defining moment in my career that has actually had an impact, a huge impact on us being here today. It was 3 years ago in São Paulo, Brazil. I attended and spoke at a conference that was labeled a medical tourism conference, and yet it was attended by a lot of spa professionals. And it was during a speech given by Curtis Schroeder, the former CEO of the famous Bumrungrad Hospital in Bangkok. He said something that literally shocked me. Curtis made it clear why my previous idealistic ideas of medicine and spa coming together to become one big happy family would not work. It was like a light bulb that went on in my head. I realized right then and there that something I had believed in for over 35 years, something I really felt passionately about, was not going to happen. And it became a defining moment for me. That defining moment caused me to change courses and explore other options. Along the way, I found that the new opportunities that were opening up for spa and medicine to grow distinctly from each other, yet supporting each other, was something many more times effective and would serve our customers, the people, far better than having all the lines blurred together. With the increasing use of the term wellness, an increasing focus on prevention, and the growth of evidence-based wellness modalities, the direction forward became quite clear to me. While medical tourism was a fairly well understood concept, the opportunity for wellness tourism to carve out its own distinct niche, where there would be a focus on prevention, where the services could be offered in a nurturing environment with kindness and compassion, and where a country or region's indigenous healing traditions could once again be showcased, is what is now emerging as an incredible opportunity for all of us in this room. There is a need, I feel, to distinguish wellness tourism from medical tourism. Ultimately, it has brought us to this day, and that is why we have labeled this day the inaugural Congress focusing on global wellness tourism. And I do predict that wellness tourism will become a game changer for the people we serve, for the industry we love, and for the planet we share. And by the way, I'm thrilled to tell you that Curtis Schroeder is here, and you're going to be hearing from him this afternoon. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say, because we haven't seen each other since those 3 years ago. So, I stand before you and declare that it's time to establish wellness tourism as a travel sector, recognized by the UNWTO, by the WTTC, and spa professionals throughout the world. Wellness tourism can spark a revolution far bigger than anything we've seen, because wellness tourism is about each of us individually. It's about the way we see ourselves and what we want for our lives. It is about prevention, something that almost everyone on the planet can agree upon. We need to establish and own wellness tourism. Our industry has that opportunity, and I feel that the opportunity is now. We need to define it, support it, represent it, and champion it. And that's part of what the whole conversation will be about today and the next few days, how together we can figure out the best way forward. It's as much about the global community, as Andrew said, the outward global community, as it is about seeing ourselves in a new light inward, and then finding a way forward together onward. I suspect that someday the 2013 Global Spa and Wellness Summit in India will be looked on as a defining moment in our industry. But frankly, that will be for future leaders to judge. In the meantime, let's seize this auspicious moment. We have joined together. Now let's shape the future. Thank you for joining me.